Irio ciakwa, ũndũire wakwa, rũciũ rwakwa. My food, my culture, my future.
Chakula changu, tamaduni wangu, kesho yangu. My food, my culture, my future.
Ekyokulya kyanje, imera yanje, mukamba kwanje. My food, my culture, my future.
Liu wakwa, kithio chakwa, uni wakwa. My food, my culture, my future.
Mwachamila ni mtumwa. My food, my culture, my future. At Slow Food Kenya, we are currently carrying out a campaign, My Food, My Culture, My Future. And it's basically a campaign that is promoting consumption of our traditional foods, because we have continued to lose our traditional foods at a very high rate, and maybe reminding Kenyans that we are what we eat, and our traditional food define who we are, and our food is our identity. So it's very important, by the way, to ensure that, of course, we are not losing our traditional foods. And then on the other side, these are very nutritious foods, and of course they are well adapted to our climatic conditions. But as a country, we have seen an increase in fast food restaurants. Of course, now we have KFC in the country, and of course with increasing number of people who consider themselves middle class, of course they are now shifting towards fast food. So we're encouraging people to go back to their traditional food.
My name is Charles Macharia from Kenya. We are doing a campaign to bring back the food that we have lost from our traditional baskets, mainly because we want to link up the future generations with our food, which is our pride and our culture. The current generation is feeding on food that is junk and mainly borrowed from foreign cuisines. And this food may not be even produced in accordance to nature. And because we want to have a continuity in providing or in growing our own food that we can be proud of and have identity to, then we are saying, my food, my culture, my future. As the old generation, we are the people to bridge the gap between this old generation and the future generations. If we don't train them today to embrace our cultural foods and the diversity that we have, then we will totally lose that food. Therefore, here we say, let's all embrace our native foods, because that is the way to eat.
My name is Elfas Masanga. I work with Slow Food Kenya, and Slow Food Kenya, we just launched a campaign, My Food, My Culture, My Future. The reason why we launched this campaign is because Kenya as a country, we are experiencing a significant shift in terms of food. A lot of arable land is now being converted to residential places. The industrialization is affecting our food production system, and also the shift of farmers from growing our traditional food, from growing, some of the local food, to promoting hybrid crops, exotic varieties of crops that is actually relying on agrochemicals. So the reason why we launched this campaign is first to create awareness. People need to understand the relationship between our food, and our culture. What is being experienced when we lose our food? This means that we are also going to lose our culture. Kenya as a country, we are consuming food that is unsafe in terms of food safety. So one component of this campaign is focusing on the issues of food healthy. We're also trying to engage young people, both in schools and university, and those who are also out of the university. They need to understand the shift. Young people are the people who are consuming a lot of modern food. They're the one who are consuming a lot of fast food. And when you consume fast food, what does this mean to our culture? This means that the more we consume some of the fast food, this affects our traditional food. A study was done by Food and Agriculture Organization and said that we have lost over 75% of our food crops. So the more we consume more of fast food, this means we are going to lose our traditional food. And when we lose our traditional food, this means that we are going to lose our culture.
My name is Julius Mandi. I come from Machakos County. I grow indigenous foods foods like sorghum, cassava, cowpeas, and pigeon peas. I am encouraging farmers in dry areas to grow these indigenous foods because they require less rains and they are also resistant to diseases and pests. Rain has been reducing every year, and those farmers who grow improved crops, they are not able to harvest, especially when the rains are not plenty. So I would encourage my farmers for us to achieve food sustainability and to have foods which we can eat and sell the surplus. I would encourage them to continue growing the indigenous foods. These are the foods which our great-grandparents used to grow. And during their times, we never had drought. We never had lack of food like we are having today. So the way forward is traditional foods. Despite the multinational companies talking about improved foods and the improved crops, I would still stress the need for indigenous foods. When it comes to seed, most of our people are losing the seed because when you grow the improved maize and the improved beans, it is difficult to replant the seed. So when it comes to the coming rain season, you are supposed to go back to the shop to buy. It has been a challenge because most of the farmers lack the funds to buy. 1 kilo of improved seed is more than 1,000. 1 kilo of the indigenous seed is like 100 shillings. So it is cheaper to get the indigenous seeds than to get the improved seeds. So I would say, my food, my future, my progress.
I am Miriam Gitonga from Kenya. Women are always the backbone of culture in their homes. They are the ones who prepare the meals. They are the ones who wake up in the morning and plan about what the family is going to have for the day. So women are always also involved in even in farming. They are mainly the ones who go on the farm and plan on what they're going to plant and even to grow, and at the same time harvest. So at the end of the day, the woman will now come back to the home and plan for every day for the family, so that they can be able to know what they are going to, the family is going to consume. So a woman is very, very important in the family, and she is able even to preserve, for example, the seeds, the food that has been harvested on the farm. She is able to remember even the recipe on how to prepare the meal for the family. So we encourage that the women of the world should continue to remember and even to take up their culture so that it cannot get lost, and so that we can even improve on the current generation. The current generation may at the end of the day forget about what used to happen before in terms of culture, but a woman will always remember. She will remember from her mother, even her grandmother, on how meals used to be prepared, and she will be able to apply the same on day-to-day basis.